Hello and welcome to the second installment of Lit at the Beach. My name is Isabel Silagy and I am so excited to be your host for today. If you didn't already know, Lit at the Beach, short for Literature at the Beach, is a special podcast series we at the Daily Forty-drNiner are bringing you for the month of March, which is Women's History Month. In this series, we'll be discussing influential books written by women authors that have either been banned in the United States in the past or are currently being banned in different parts of the country right now. So I hope that you continue listening along with this series as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month. Okay, with that being said, let's get into it. In this episode, I will be discussing The Handmaid's Tale, a novel written by Margaret Atwood, originally published in 1985. So I'm sure many of you have heard of this book because of its very popular TV adaptation on Hulu, but the book was a bestseller when it was published, and when it was published, it was received with critical acclaim and much controversy. So the novel is set in dystopian New England, sometime in the vague near future. The United States as a country does not exist anymore, and the quote-unquote country where everyone lives is ruled by an oppressive Christian regime called the Republic of Gilead. So this Republic of Gilead staged a military coup and violently overthrew the U.S. government, and this new regime is now controlled exclusively by men and was founded to address a fertility crisis that was happening in the then United States. So once this regime took power, women were essentially robbed of their jobs, their money, and essentially any independence that they once had. Any individual freedom, civil rights that women had in the United States were taken when the Republic of Gilead took power. So women in the country were forced into different roles, from wives to housekeepers to, most importantly, handmaids. And handmaids are fertile women who were assigned to the families of men controlling the government, who were married to wives that were infertile. So the handmaids are assigned to these families, these very powerful families, and are essentially forced to carry the men's children. So they're forced into pregnancy and delivering children for these crazy, corrupt families. So the narrator and the main character in Handmaid's Tale is a woman named Offred, who is a handmaid for the commander, a very high-ranking government official. And Handmaid's Tale is told through Offred's eyes, and throughout the book you learn more about her and her life before the Republic of Gilead took over, and you catch glimpses of the life that she once had, her childhood, her past relationships, all sorts of things. I don't want to spoil it too much, but you are transported back and forth between like her past life and then her life now in the Republic of Gilead. So The Handmaid's Tale is an award-winning book, but it has been the source of a lot of controversy and a lot of debate, and has even been banned because of its graphic material and some believe is its critique of conservatism and, most importantly, Christianity. So I personally think banning books at all is crazy. But I think banning this one in particular is dangerous but also very interesting, because I think the reason why this novel elicits such an intense reaction and why it's still so important some 20, 30 years after it was published is because the subject matter at hand that Margaret Atwood is dealing with is still relevant today. We are living in a period of American history where women's reproductive rights and individual liberties are being constrained again. And they're being constrained in the name of a single religion's values, or a single party's values, or a single group of people in the U.S.'s values. So no matter where you fall on the issue, and I know we all have various opinions, I think we can all agree that The Handmaid's Tale is just as relevant today as when it was published in 1985. So as we conclude, I wanted to share a short passage from The Handmaid's Tale that I think perfectly encapsulates its themes, the emotions that it deals with, and the emotions that it conveys to its readers or its television show viewers, and really why this story has a timeless message and why we should still consider it important, and we should still read it, and we should still tell our friends and our families to read it. So this is the passage from chapter 5, and this is Offred speaking. Women were not protected then. I remember the rules that were never spelled out, but that every woman knew. Don't open your door to a stranger, even if he says he is the police. Make him slide his ID under the door. Don't stop on the road to help a motorist pretending to be in trouble. Keep the locks on and keep going. If anyone whistles, don't turn to look. Don't go into a laundromat by yourself at night. I think about laundromats, what I wore to them, shorts, jeans, jogging pants, what I put into them, my own clothes, my own soap, my own money that I had earned myself. I think about having such control. Now we walk along the same street in red pairs, and no man shouts obscenities at us, speaks to us, touches us. No one whistles. There is more than one kind of freedom, said Aunt Lydia. Freedom to and freedom from. In the days of anarchy, it was freedom to. Now you are being given freedom from. Don't underrate it. So that is it for episode 2 of Lit at the Beach. I highly recommend reading The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood if you haven't read it already. You can find it at your local bookstore and right here at the CSULB library. If you have read it or have watched the Hulu series, I would love to hear your thoughts and analysis. So please send us some comments, send us some messages. I would love to hear your thoughts. It has been an absolute pleasure serving as your host today. I hope you enjoyed our discussion on The Handmaid's Tale. Please keep listening along with our series Lit at the Beach as we continue celebrating women and Women's History Month. Thank you all, and remember to keep on reading banned books.